দিয়ে আটকানো। তারপর আমি এই কথাটাও মেধাজির সামনে বলেছিলাম যে তাজমহল দেখা অথবা ইত্যাদিতে কিছু একটা করা যায় কিনা, অন্তত সার অথবা এই ধরনের কিছু একটা করা যায় কিনা। তো রাষ্ট্রদূত ভদ্রমহিলা আমাকে বললেন যে হ্যাঁ উনি নোট লিখে দিল্লিতে পাঠান। তো এজিজিউল এগুলির তো কোনো রেজাল্ট হয় না, সাধারণত আলোচনা হয়, নোট করা হয়, এগুলির কোনো রেজাল্ট হয় না। আমার মনে হয় যে সিভিল সোসাইটি এগুলির ক্ষেত্রে আমরা দুই দেশের বোঝার যাতে দূরত্ব না থাকে আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ডিংয়ের ক্ষেত্রে এটা একটা কিছু করতে পারি। আরেকটা যেটা বলে আমি শেষ করি, বাংলাদেশ ইউএনের রোলের কথা উঠেছে। বাংলাদেশের ইউএনএতে বাংলাদেশকে এস্টাবলিশ করার ক্ষেত্রে ভারতের কিন্তু একটা বড় রকমের ভূমিকা আছে। 71-এ আমাদের ডেলিগেশন যখন প্রথম গেল, পরে উনি আমাদের ভাইস চ্যান্সেলর হয়েছিলেন জাস্টিস আবু সাইদ চৌধুরী, ওরা চেষ্টা করেছিল যে একটা অবজারভার টাইপের কোনো একটা স্ট্যাটাস নিয়ে ঢুকানো যায় কিনা। এবং যেদিন বাংলাদেশ নিয়ে ডিবেট হয় সেদিন তারা খুবই চেষ্টা করেছিল, কিন্তু বাংলাদেশকে ইউএন জেনারেল অ্যাসেম্বলিতে ঢুকতে দেওয়া হয় না। আমার মনে হয় কৃষ্ণমেন্দ্র না, ওখানে তখন কে ছিলেন, সমস্যা উনি বলছেন যে দে প্লেড হ্যামলেট দ্য ড্রামা উইদাউট দ্য পার্টিসিপেশন অফ হ্যামলেট, উনি মন্তব্য করেছিলেন যে। কিন্তু তারপরে ওখানে একজন সাংবাদিক ছিলেন, আমি নাম মনে করার চেষ্টা করছি, পশ্চিমবঙ্গে, উনি কিছু অবজারভার পাস জোগাড় করে দিয়েছিলেন এবং আবু সাইদ চৌধুরীরা প্রতিদিন ওই পাস নিয়ে ওখানে গিয়ে ক্যাম্পেইন করত। তো শুরুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে, তারপর 72-তে যখন মেম্বার হওয়ার চেষ্টা করলো তখন ইন্ডিয়া সাপোর্ট করেছিল। শর্মাজি বলেছেন যে আমার মনে আছে যে চীনকে কিছুতেই আমেরিকান ভেটো মেম্বার হতে দিচ্ছিল না, তারা তাইওয়ানকে মেম্বার করে রেখেছিল। এবং 71-এই বোধহয় তারা মেম্বার হয়, খুব সম্ভব 72-তে মেম্বার হয়। মেম্বার হওয়ার পরে তারা ভেটো পাওয়ার পরে প্রথম 2 বছরের ভেটোটা তারা প্রয়োগ করে বাংলাদেশ যাতে মেম্বার হতে না পারে। তারা 74-এ আছে, ফাইনালি মেম্বার হয়। বাংলাদেশ ইউএনের ব্যাপারে খুব ইন্টারেস্টেড, মানে ইউএনের জেনারেল অ্যাসেম্বলির প্রেসিডেন্ট হয়েছে 2 বার, খুব অল্প সময়ের মেম্বারশিপের মধ্যে বিভিন্ন কমিটিতে খুব অ্যাক্টিভ রোল প্লে করেছে। এবং শর্মাজি যেটা বললেন যে পিস কিপিংয়ে বাংলাদেশ এখন হায়েস্ট কন্ট্রিবিউটিং ট্রুপসের ক্ষেত্রে এবং কমান্ডের ক্ষেত্রে। তবে ভারত অথবা ব্রাজিল অথবা জাপান যেরকম একটা রোল প্লে করে, আমি নিজে ফিল করি যে বাংলাদেশ হয়তো অনেক সময় সেটা পারে না, নানা রকমের হিসাব কিতাব করতে গিয়ে সেটা তাদের পক্ষে সম্ভব হয় না। আমি শেষ কথা যেটা বলি সেটা হচ্ছে আমি ইউএনের ফিউচার সম্পর্কে খুব শঙ্কিত এই কারণে যে আমার মনে হচ্ছে বেশ অনেকদিন ধরে আমার ইউএন সম্পর্কে অত ভাস্ট নলেজ নেই। তো ওফুনার সূত্রে যেটা আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে ইউএনের যে মেইন যেটা তার এজেন্ডা সেখানে সাইডলাইন করে দেওয়ার চেষ্টা করা হচ্ছে। অর্থাৎ ইউএনের মেইন এজেন্ডা তো নিশ্চয়ই পিস। এখন ইরান যখন যুদ্ধ হবে অথবা ইরাকের সাথে কুয়েতের যখন যুদ্ধ হবে, সেইটা শান্তি রক্ষার ক্ষেত্রে ইউএনের চেয়ে যদি বড় মিলিটারি পাওয়ার যাদের আছে তাদের যদি রোল বেশি হয়ে যায়, আমার আশঙ্কা যে আস্তে আস্তে ইউএন একটা ডেভেলপমেন্ট এজেন্সিতে পরিণত হবে। এবং ডেভেলপমেন্ট এজেন্সিতে পরিণত হলে ইউএনডিপি এবং অন্যান্য সংস্থাগুলি যেরকম আছে সেটা অনেকটা বিভিন্ন বড় দেশগুলির পলিটিক্যাল ইন্টারেস্ট দ্বারা এগুলি হচ্ছে, যেটা আমরা যার লক্ষণ ইতিমধ্যে আমরা দেখছি। এবং দেখা যাবে যে এগুলির ক্ষেত্রে ইউএনের তেমন কোনো গুরুত্ব নেই। আমার মনে হয় যে ভারত, বাংলাদেশ অথবা আমরা যারা ওই বড় মিলিটারি পাওয়ারগুলির বাইরে আছি, আমরা যদি বলি যে না ইউএনের মেইন রোল যেটা সেটা ইউএনকে প্লে করতে দেওয়া হোক, তাইলে ইউএন সাকসেসফুল থাকতে পারে না। আপনাদের অনেক ধন্যবাদ আমার কথা শোনার জন্য।
See this only last month they have published this book, Bangladesh at UN, and this has been published by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Government of Bangladesh and by the UN Association of Bangladesh, jointly by them, where they give the details of their role and contribution during last 40 years. So this copy they have given to for our MAKAIAS library, copy they have given to us. So basically Dr. SHAHED has said that he stresses more on the people-to-people relations between India and Bangladesh, and at the same time he says that social, cultural, economic relations are very important, more than the government-to-government relations. Now, at the same time, he has rightly said that we can't choose our neighbors. And so we are neighbors and we have to live. And so we can live only by adjusting and accommodating. That is what he has said. And he also mentioned that West Bengal, not only because the West Bengal is the closest state to Bangladesh, a special role in developing and strengthening the India-Bangladesh relations. And because now, of course, this issue of like TV channel was also raised when we were in Dhaka. And after my return from Dhaka, I had been to Delhi and I had a meeting with the Joint Secretary in charge of Bangladesh in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Government of India. And I said that, look, I think this is a very valid issue, that they can see all our channels, but then we can't see channels from Bangladesh in India or even in Kolkata. So I was told by the Joint Secretary in charge for Bangladesh that, look, as far as the Government of India is concerned, Government of India has not taken any decision to ban the telecast or even to block this telecast. They have not done it. But what has happened is this, that even in India, the system had changed. Like you see in India also, like when we have our TV sets in our houses. So it has been like basically what was privatized. So then like about Tata Sky. So if you subscribe certain channels, then only you can see those channels. And I'm not sure because whether if you subscribe channels from Bangladesh, whether those channels can be seen in Kolkata or not, I don't know. Or whether at all Tata Sky, if they are within their channels, whether the Bangladesh channels are not. They say it is totally, purely private affair. The Government of India has no role in this. And so this I think, but then I think, I don't know of this what can be done. Regarding the books, also I believe, here in India, the government does not play any role in this, whether in the case of the books and all that. I think in this market economy, only the market plays the most important role, that which books are available where. I fully agree with him that, look, the civil society can certainly play a very important role, and that is exactly what I believe today we are doing, because UNAB is a very important part of the civil society in Bangladesh. And regarding visas and all that, I will not be able to comment. And of course, he is absolutely right that the terrorists do not go and take visa. They don't need any visa. On this issue, I believe we have somebody who will be able to certainly speak with more authority. Ambassador Krishnan Srinivasan, who was not only our High Commissioner there, he was also the Foreign Secretary of regarding UN, whatever he has said, I fully agree with him, because certainly the role of the United Nations, particularly in its main mandate for maintaining international peace and security, is being diluted, and he has used a very correct word that ultimately maybe one day UN will become a development agency, that's all. And in fact, on behalf of our West Bengal UN Association, we had once organized a seminar that the title of it was almost dead or not active. And so I think he has made very important points, and thank you very much, Dr. Syed. I'll request Ambassador Krishnan Srinivasan to please say a few words.
Thank you. It's a well-travelled road in Calcutta, and I don't think that I have anything new to say on that subject. But a more interesting thing is the India-Bangladesh relations at the UN. And I know that you, Mr. Sharma, you are a person who is an author, and a very successful author. I very strongly recommend that this is an area, Indo-Bangladesh relationship at the UN is a very good area for someone to write a good book. I think I strongly recommend it to you, in fact. Let me just put it in 5 quick phases. I don't want to take too much time, but just run over this because not everybody is interested in so much detail. Firstly, as was mentioned, in 1971, the major task of the Indian government at the UN was the liberation of Bangladesh. And this was piloted in many ways by my former ambassador, Samar Sen, who later became a very great friend of mine. And it was a titanic and difficult struggle, as you know. Because against India was not only China, which you mentioned, but also the United States. There was the Muslim world, who basically did not want to see the breakup of Pakistan. And there were numerous other countries that did not want to see the breakup of any country, because the whole concept of fragmentation of countries was a very difficult proposition for them, because every country more or less has this problem. So in this terrific struggle in '71, and those debates would be very well worth studying, India very frequently fought almost a lone hand, and I think with the help of course, the then Soviet Union. And it was really ultimately the defeat of the Pakistani army on the ground in Bangladesh that really tilted the scales in such a manner that public opinion in the United States became swung round with the help of persons, I may say, like Ravi Shankar, swung round very strongly to supporting the Bangladesh liberation movement, and that was what eventually made it possible. It was not through the United Nations, in other words, but through the liberation on the ground that it took place. And we were very fortunate, I suppose, in having a very skillful campaign which prevented any adverse resolution having taken place during the 1971 period. I may say that Mr. Sen at the time thought that he would give highest priority to befriending Muslim countries because he felt that there could be a division engineered within the Muslim countries, and that would be the greatest help to the Bangladesh movement. And he was very successful in this. There was one notable country that didn't come on board was Nigeria, for its own reasons, of course. The second phase I'd like to mention is this LDC, Least Developing Country phase. Now, this Least Developing Country is a title which is given to certain groups of countries. This has been of great benefit to Bangladesh throughout in terms of generalized scheme of preferences, that's GSP, because the least developed countries get GSP plus, which means they get even better benefits than the countries that enjoy GSP. Now, of course, India has gone further than that a couple of years ago, because it's opened its markets completely to Bangladesh, well, almost completely, I would say, but completely to all intents and purposes. And we saw that recently, I think in Kolkata, there was some discussion by one of our union ministers, I don't remember who, speaking about the import of raw jute, which is creating some complications in West Bengal. So along with the great benefits that we give to Bangladesh, we also have to make some sacrifices. That there will always be the import of such items which are available in India but may be cheaper from Bangladesh. Coming back to the LDC matter, Bangladesh is making very good progress. We're all happy about that. And they expect to move out of the LDC status in 2021. It may not seem so near, but at least it's a target which is likely to be achieved. The third area where we had difficulties with Bangladesh is the phase of 1980 between the time that the first Ganges Treaty expired and before the second Ganges Treaty was signed. And that was a period when Bangladesh threatened, if I may use the term, I think they really did threaten, to take the issue to the UN. Now, it would not have been such a clear-cut matter even if they had taken it to the UN, because the whole question of the international law pertaining to river waters is very complicated. It's governed by several conferences, the Helsinki conference is the main conference here, but it's never come to any clear-cut resolution as to the rights of upper riparian and lower riparian. In Bangladesh, it's entirely a lower riparian, and we are an upper riparian, but we are a lower riparian when it comes to China. So in India, we have a very complicated situation to deal with, and we were not happy that Bangladesh wanted to take this to the UN. Eventually, they did not, and as we all know that there was a second Ganges River Treaty in the late 1990s, and that matter has been resolved as far as the Ganga River is concerned. Of course, there are 53 other rivers which are flowing from India to Bangladesh as well. The fourth point I want to mention is the law of the sea. Now, we have had a maritime border dispute with Bangladesh ever since Bangladesh became independent. And this maritime dispute relates to where the border runs in the sea. And to cut a long story short, Bangladesh offered to discuss this matter bilaterally many times. And we did have some discussions with Bangladesh on this subject. But eventually, Bangladesh decided to take it to the tribunal under the law of the sea. And I may say fundamentally they won the case.